Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there. It is a beautiful Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. Oh yes, wherever you are, it is a beautiful weekend ahead of us. Well, you see, it's been almost how many days since the Club World Cup ended? And Chelsea, our players are on a 3 weeks break. Yeah, our players are on 3 weeks break. We understand Gittins and Estaval, they will be coming like 2 weeks time, but the rest of the squad, Estaval and Gittins, they are various clubs. Their clubs were knocked out in the quarterfinal stage and semi-finals. Yeah, so they'll be coming earlier or ahead of the rest of the squad back to Cobham. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 weeks break for the players, but there is something intriguing that is happening around the football world, especially in the US of A. You know, in US, they love to call their football soccer. They have another game that they call football. They have their own football, but they call what we call football soccer. Yes, of course, that is the name the Americans call it. And Donald Trump came for the finals, and after the game, presenting the trophy to Chelsea. After the first gentleman on the land refused to step down. As you can see him right there. While the players were lifting the trophy up, in fact, if you watch the video, it looks like Rhys James wanted to ask a question. If you watch the video, Rhys James was a bit confused whether to lift the trophy up while Donald Trump is on the podium with them or not. But he has no choice. He had no choice than to lift the trophy up whilst Donald Trump was on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see them right there on your screen, did you know that this is actually going viral in the US? Yeah, it is. The image projection Chelsea is getting in the US for winning this trophy, performing the way they did in the final, and President Donald Trump being part of the show is immense. It is immense. You see Cole Palmer, you go to New York, you see Cole Palmer's billboard everywhere. In fact, what Trump did was even perfect, in my opinion, for the publicity that Chelsea needs in the US. It gives us more coverage and attention in the US media right now as we speak than any other soccer club. Yeah, I will not say football club. Soccer club in the US. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully our commercial department will capitalize on this wonderful opportunity. In as much as, or even as Chelsea are still in the market looking for a front of shirt sponsor. Yes, the American companies, they are huge. They are huge. The American companies, they are huge. Right now, as we speak, Chelsea are talking to up to 10 major companies or 10 major brands, yes, for front of shirt sponsorship, and are looking at signing a long-term deal worth at least 60 million pounds a year. Very likely we can even get more than that in terms of US. If we can take advantage of what is happening right now in the US with the publicity the media is giving Chelsea with Donald Trump at the center of the celebration right now in US. If Chelsea commercial department can take advantage, they can get a good deal for our front of shirt sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Now, let's get back to some transfer news. It is your breakfast and I will not be taking much of your time. Quickly, let's go to some transfer news. 40 million could be possible for Hacho. Jared Hacho of Ajax. Chelsea has shown strong interest in the left back during the Club World Cup. In fact, before the Club World Cup and during the Club World Cup. But ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to secure the deal, or I'm not too sure whether it's just not Chelsea's priority or not. But right now, we understand. Chelsea are still in the market for a defender and one more attacker. This will all depend on the outgoings, yes. But we understand 40 million could get the job done for Chelsea in securing Jarrell Hato from Ajax. Though Ajax right now are asking for something around 60 million pounds. Ajax are asking for something around 60 million pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, oh yes, they are asking for something around 60 million. Is it possible? Can we get it done? I like the player. When I watch him play, I actually like him. Honestly, if Chelsea can secure him as a backup for Marco Cucurella, and even he also plays left center back as well. He's very good in that left center back as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Marco Cucurella contract, as we understand, Cucurella's contract now, he still has about 3 years with Chelsea. And according to the report, the player is very happy to stay at Chelsea, and he's also happy with his current wage package. So there is no real agitation on that end from Chelsea. There is no agitation from the player's end. You remember, Marco Cucurella was one of those players that Todd Bowley signed in the early years when the new ownership took over. Todd Bowley and co. Yes, he was one of the first players that was signed. So he was placed on a good wage. Yeah, he was. I think Cucurella is on a. Let me see. I think 175,000 pounds. Yeah, he was signed before the current wage structure was put in place. Yeah, and he has about 175,000 pounds a week. So he's quite better off than even Cole Palmer and most of the current players in the squad. In exception of those that are, 200,000, what's his name? Reece James, Ben Chilwell that we want to get rid of, Raheem Sterling, he is 175. He's still manageable, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I'm just wondering why he will not make because if I were him, I would have asked for a top up. At least let them make it 200k. If I were him. He's 27. He's 27 years and he's got 3 more years left on his contract. He's got 3 more years left on his contract. That is Marco Cucurella for you, ladies and gentlemen. You see, more arrivals could be made, at least 2. But they will be dependent upon players' departure. Those arrivals could depend on the departure of other players. That is the main focus for the time being. Departure. Chelsea are working on players that are going away. Players that we need to sell out. That is what Chelsea's focus is on right now. Now, the plan is to smooth more exits than incomings before the end of the window. Chelsea have a number of squad members who are not part of their long-term plans. Yeah. And are looking to go elsewhere. I mean, few of the names: Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell, Joao Felix, Renato Viega, Armando Broa, Leslie Ugochukwu, and Axel Disasi, just to name a few. All these players are to look for a new club for the upcoming season. I am just wondering, Joao Felix. We have a lot of competitions coming up next season. We are playing in Champions League. We are playing the Premier League, the FA Cup, Community Shield Cup. Is it? How they call it? EFL Cup, we call it now. About 4 or 5 tournaments Chelsea are playing next season. So, but hey, there's another thought of, group of people that are thinking that Christopher Nkunku, more will also depend on the departure of Christopher Nkunku and possibly Nicholas Jackson, which of course I don't believe Jackson is going anywhere. Christopher, very likely, though he ended the season well with Chelsea. He ended the season very well with Chelsea. Now, these are the main targets that Chelsea might be looking at in the transfer market. Should there be a departure? Yes, Manchester United, Alejandro Garnacho. Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers. Ajax, Jarrell Hato. These are the 3 main targets that Chelsea are looking at right now. It's either Garnacho or Morgan Rogers. Either Garnacho or Morgan Rogers. If one of Christopher Nkuku or Nicola Jackson leaves Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, then in defense, they are looking at Jorel Hatcho from Ajax, according to the Athletic. Ladies and gentlemen, what else? It is your breakfast, and like I said, I don't want to take so much of your time. But hey guys, it is Friday. It is Friday, and let me just end it here. Anything that comes up during the day, ladies and gentlemen, in the form of a breaking news, I'll be back with more exclusives in the coming hours. See you all in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.